Hi everyone, back again. Had a little bit of inspiration for my December daily since the last video, so I just thought I'd quickly show you the finished page. I've added some words there now. Hope you can see that. I'm really quite happy with that, really happy with the way it came out. So and I think I've had a little bit of a think about it today, and I'm going to continue the craft theme. So that's going to be the one thing that will be a constant throughout, I've decided. So I'll incorporate craft cardstock or craft envelopes, that type of thing, throughout, I think. So as I said, I've had a little bit of inspiration. I had a little bit of a play this afternoon. My partner and I went grocery shopping today. So exciting. I hate that job, but I found these cute little gift cards. They weren't exactly cheap, but so that's this one here. But I think, I don't know, it might be just me, but I think they printed them back to front. So what they are, they're a pop-out greeting card, and they're so cute. But when I've actually adjusted this one, so when you buy them and you open, I would think that that's how you would open it. When you open it, you see that it's around the wrong way. So basically what they're doing is telling you to open the card this way. All seemed a bit strange to me. So what I did was I just cut one down, which is a shame, but I can still use, you know, these bits and pieces from the one that I've cut down. I've cut the front, I would call it the front, cut the front off and then just glued it onto there so that the orientation is the correct way. So when you flip it open, you actually see all the images that way. So what I've also done there is just glued on two sides. So this is going to be a tuck spot in there. So I think I mentioned in the last video that this is going to be December 1. I worked, so there's not going to be a lot to show for the December the 1st. So I'm just going to have maybe do some journaling and a couple of photos maybe, and just tuck it in there. Maybe even add some Christmas lists or something down the track. So that's what I've done there. Didn't think it through very clearly though, because I don't know, it might be all right. Doesn't seem to pop open too much, but I was thinking of putting a closure there, but then that impedes what goes into the pocket. So I'll have to have a think about that. If anyone's got any great ideas, just pop them in the comments, and hopefully between all of us we can come up with something. But anyway, I'm quite happy with the way that's turned out anyway. It's not popping out too much, so it's all good. So I've done that. Tonight I thought I might try and decorate one of these pockets. These are going to be, as I said in the first video, these are going to be with my dates on there. So this will be number 1, then number 2, and so on and so forth. So you saw that, and then I found this little heart as well. So I'd like to try and work out at some stage to incorporate that onto the page. I thought that was really cute, so I've just popped that to the side. So I'm going to pop a pocket here. Now this is a greeting card. I was in a Christmas card swap last year, and this is one of the cards that I got. So what I've done is I've just cut it away from the greeting side of things, and I think I'm going to use that as my pocket there. And once again, I haven't thought this through real clearly, but I want to just add a little bit of a gusset just so that it sort of expands a bit. I don't know, is that going to work? So I just cut some cardstock before and folded it, so I might just trim that off to size there. So that can be the right. And here's another couple of bits of cardstock that I cut. So all I've done is I've just cut them, I think about 1 inch. I cut it, and then I'm just going to fold it in half. As I said, I'm still partially living out of boxes, so I have no idea where my scoreboard is or anything at the moment, so I'm just making do. If I wait until I find everything, I'll probably never get anything done. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll just add those, glue those two bits to the side. I don't know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, it's still a pocket, and I just don't put as much in there as I think I'm wanting to put in there. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue those sides down. Get my glue. So I hope you've all had a really good day. As I said, we've really done just grocery shopping and a little bit of running around today. Done a little bit of crafting. I've helped my mother-in-law do some sewing. So it's been a pretty easy-going day today. Tomorrow we're heading off to the Sunshine Coast just for the day. I've got to go back to work on Sunday, so I may as well make the most of my few days off that I have. So I'll go and have fish and chips on the beach and just hope that it's not 40-degree weather. So that, I mean, that adds, does it add? I don't know that it really adds much. Anyway, we'll do it. I have seen ages ago, someone did a tutorial on how to, you know, do like a gusseted pocket, and so that you got more out of your pockets, you know, more pocket space. But of course, when you go looking for it, you can't find it. So I have a feeling that it was folded in 3. See, in my head I can see that working, but now I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so what I'll also think I'll do is just put a little divot in about in the middle of that card there. Get your fingers in there and pull out whatever's in there, and I'm going to just ink that up a little bit. Like I said, I love ink. I do like brights and whatever, but I just love that whole vintage rustic look. Well, that's sticking out a bit there, isn't it? So I'm going to trim that off. Just make sure that I'm in frame and recording. Yeah. So how are you all going with your December dailies? I don't know, I'm actually really in, I mean, I know it's only, what is it, day 5, day 6, but just the fact that I haven't put any pressure on myself and I'm just doing it as randomly as I want. It seems to be working for me this year, so far so good. I don't think I even made it past day 2 last year. So that's, I mean, nothing needs to be done to that pocket, I don't think. It's gorgeous on its own. It's got sparkles and gems and all sorts of things on there. So I'm just going to stick that down and we'll call that bit done. I think I'm going to, definitely going to go and try and find some old photos from previous Christmases, or even Christmases back when we were kids. I like that idea. I just think, you know, there's just going back and looking at all the memories that we made as a family, and my kids have all, I've become an empty nester in the last couple of months, and my kids have all moved out of home, and I've moved away from my hometown, and I've had lots of changes. So to be quite honest, I'm struggling a little bit with it all, and I don't know, I really love my kids, and we've got really beautiful relationship. Well, I've got a beautiful relationship with all three of them, so I'm really missing that closeness. But we'll be seeing each other at Christmas Day, so that'll be really enjoyable. I'm really looking forward to that. So I don't know. I don't think I might have made a bit of difference. I don't know. That seemed to be popping up a bit there. But I don't know whether that really made too much difference to being able to add too much to the pocket. But that's a pocket. So that's what you can do with your old, any of your old Christmas cards. Most of the ladies in this Christmas card swap didn't actually write on the inside of the card, just in case I wanted to use it this year. But I've got so many beautiful cards. Some were handmade and some were bought, so these are just a few of them that I've got and cut, so I'm going to use them throughout. Someone sent this cute little bird tag. This card here is handmade, and it's blank, so I thought I might even be able to put that in as a page. What else have we got in here? There's this gorgeous tag, absolutely beautiful tag. So that, I'll use that somewhere. What else have I got in here? Someone made that card. I don't think it's got anything on the inside either, so that could even be a page. And someone also gave me some beautiful images, and I just loved this. I liked this idea. Now that's not my address anymore, but I just like that idea with the pen work. I just thought I might be able to incorporate that into one of my pages as well. So that's just a few ideas there. So I'll just pop them away. Pop them over there. Okay, so that's my pocket. What do you think? Yeah. Anyway, I should be able to fit a decent amount of stuff in there. It's big enough. So here we go. So far, front pocket, that beautiful page there, this cute little pop out. So that's a tuck spot there. I don't know. I think it needs something else. I've pre-sewn some fabric ruffles, so maybe even a ruffle on the top. I like that one. Let me see. I've got so just a scrap piece that I had, so it's not even, but that's quite cute with the red and the gold in it. No, it's too much the same. I did have a couple more trims that I had made. Sorry guys, I just have a look and see. Here we go. Maybe even this one. I think I like that one actually. What do you think? I think I do, and I want to leave it so that the threads are hanging out the side here. Yep, I'm going to do that. Same thing, just do it. Don't overthink it. Stick it down. Get it done. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to get keep on track with the December daily this year. Oh, sorry. Glue. Yeah, so anyway, as I said, we're heading to the beach tomorrow, which is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been to the beach for, well, actually sat on the sand and, you know, listened to the ocean for probably 12 months. And last time my partner and I just went away for a night. It was so relaxing. I just would love to be able to go for a week, just switch off. How nice would that be? We're hoping in a few years' time that we'll be living at the Sunshine Coast. That's our plan anyway. So at least we've got something to work towards. So I'm just putting that on. No idea whether that's straight. It's pretty good. But with these ruffles, I love these. You can use any fabric or ribbon. I just get tear lengths of fabric, bits and pieces that I've got left over, and just sew them. I use a quick unpick just to push it under the foot of the sewing machine. And I have all different colours and that on hand. They're just so handy, and you can just snip them. They're not going to come undone so long as you glue on the underside just where the stitching is. So that's all going to be glued and nothing's going to come undone. I think that's really cute. I quite like that. And so if you can imagine, you know, something, bits and pieces, even I could even maybe decorate some tags down the track, stick them in there and write my lists or my journaling on the back. I don't think in these videos I'm going to add any journaling. I think I'd like to try and keep that a little bit private, so I'll see. I don't know, it could all change. We'll see what happens as we go along. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I think that that's starting to come together and look quite nice. Okay, so this is the page that I sewed last night as well that I haven't done the holes yet. So I did bring my hole punch up, so I may as well just do them while I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to sew it tonight, I won't bore you with that, but I'll just punch that and then pop it back in the album so I know where I'm wanting it to go. Where am I wanting it to go? Here. And then I'll sew that down. I'll sew around that, and then I'll fix this one up and do coffee paper on that as well. Alright, so what I think I might do is maybe decorate this, and this will be for day one. So I'm just going to pop that out of the way for a second. I've stuck this festive sticker here so I know that I'm still in frame, and I keep taking it off, so I don't want to go out of frame for you. So I don't know, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. So I think probably what I'm going to do is just decorate it with some pattern paper, maybe one of these papers that I've got in here. Actually, I could probably even, as a continuance, maybe do it with that one. So I've got a couple of paper pads here, Christmas paper pads. Now I've just got to see if I have any of that paper left. These are Kaisercraft paper pads. Is that it? No. This is it. Here it is. Excellent. So I think that's what I'll do. Just get rid of those. I think that's what I'll do. And I don't have a ruler. I'm just going to wing it. So I think I want to have some of that craft envelope showing. So that's the whole idea of continuing that craft cardstock look throughout. So I just want something to be, like regular throughout the journal, rather than it being an absolute hodgepodge of all sorts of things. So I'm just going to trim this. That's another thing, trimmers. This is fantastic, this little Fiskars trimmer, but my big trimmer, I had a Making Memories one, and they don't make them anymore. I don't even know whether Making Memories is still a going concern. And I used to love it, but I've dropped it so many times, and it's just doesn't cut straight. And I mean, I persevere with it sometimes, but so if anyone's got any hints on good cutters, I've tried Stampin' Up, it's not too bad. I've tried the bigger Fiskars, I've tried Kaisercraft. I've bought so many cutters and just not happy with the majority of them. Okay, so I'm thinking that, yeah, I like that, so it sort of flows a bit better. So All right, so I'm going to ink that, of course. Just quickly ink. I found these little inks in my stash, so I thought I might just use these since my other big pad is just about had it. And I have ring inked it. I've got Vintage Photo ring inker, but it just doesn't seem to want to come back to life. So okay, so that's that. And then what am I going to put on there? I've got some little bits and pieces here. What are these doilies? What that'll be like. I don't even know who these are. I've had these. Trade de Vin. I don't know. I can't speak French, so I'm not even going to try. So that might be nice. I could do something like that. So I've got to remember that I'm going to use the red sparkly numbers to go on here. Here's another paper pad actually, or is that the same as the one I've got? No, it's different. Sometimes these paper pads that come with tags and die cuts. That one doesn't. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find tags or something. As I said, I haven't thought too far ahead of this. This goes with one of those paper pads. What have we got in here? I was thinking I wanted a tag of some sort, but I don't particularly want anything with to or from on it. That's cute. How am I going to do that though? Look at that. What if I just keep it really simple? Now okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this doily in half. I'll put that aside because I'll probably use it on another one. And I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to glue it down. Do I want to sew around it? I don't know what I want to do. No. See, this is why I don't think I'm very good at doing these craft with me's, because I'm so indecisive and I'm extra tired tonight, so my brain's not working real well. Not that it works real well anyway, but I'm going to glue that down. I think what I'll do is I'll glue that down, and I think I want to stitch around the outside of here. I'm not sure why, but I like that, as I said, I like that sewing look with the threads hanging, so we may as well try and keep it all cohesive, or try and keep a few things cohesive throughout. So now that I've done that, really, see, I told you I'm not thinking at all. So I just want to glue this down. We don't need it right up to the edge if I'm going to sew it, so we'll just add some glue here very roughly. So I'm just going to add this here. It's crooked as a dog's hind leg. So that's my cutting. Anyway, you're not going to notice. And it's a junk journal, so it doesn't matter, does it? So I'm just going to re-punch these holes through here. And then we'll sew that. So hopefully this glue hasn't... Oh, and then I've got to punch them again. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, what is wrong with me? Anyway. So that's quite cute. As you can see, a little bit of that paper coming through. So let's punch the holes again. Let's just double our workload. Cut through very well. These are just about on their way out, this whole punch. Just don't want to tear that. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim. It's only a tiny little fraction of doily hanging over the edge, but I'm going to trim that off. That's pretty cute. I'll just add a little bit of ink there and on the edge here, so it's all way. Okay, so just bear with me for 2 ticks. I'm going to unplug my phone from the charger. Sorry if I made you sick doing that. And because I need to plug in my sewing machine. Oh, sorry, mate. Just put a basket on top of my dog then. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my sewing machine over. And I'm just going to sew. Oh, guys, why didn't you tell me I need to sew that before I stick it on there? How's that going to work now? I think I just need to maybe have a coffee and go to bed. Oh, my goodness. That glue's pretty well dry. Oh, so that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do it this way. Oh, this is just ridiculous. Okay. Let's give this a go. See? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's getting stuck on the glue. You're probably all cringing because, oh my God, she's sewing using a sewing machine with wet glue. But I'll tell you a story in a minute. So when I do sewing, this machine won't zigzag anymore, so I just, so that it, I don't worry about trying to get it straight, so I just re-sew and I just jiggle it like that so that it's got wobbly lines. That's a good little sewing machine. I originally bought that for my daughter because I thought she might be interested in me teaching how to sew, and she is not interested at all. So I don't like to use my really good quilting machine for, well, it's not a quilting machine, it's a sewing machine that I use to quilt, to make quilts on. I didn't particularly want to use it to sew paper, so it's actually turned out quite well, this little machine, and it didn't survive the trip down, the move too well. It's the only stitch that works on it now is straight stitch, so I don't know, I'm going to look at getting another one in the new year. So alright, so that's done. Now that I've worked all that out, I'm going to re-glue this and we'll stick it on there. So oh, it's a worry sometimes, I tell you. It wouldn't have mattered. I could have just left it unsewn, but yeah, I like that look, and that's another thing that I want to do throughout the book is to sew bits and pieces. So, okay, let's hope we can line this up. There we go. So that's that. Okay, I don't know, there was a notification came up on my phone. I don't know, guys, if that came through, but we'll see what happens. Okay, what am I going to do here? I think I'm just going to leave it really simple and not worry about it too much. So I'm going to ink around the edges to get rid of that crisp white colour. Using the Distress Ink Vintage Photo, and I'm taking, by holding the sticky part on the back, I'm taking all the sticky off it, but that's all right. I'll just use glue to adhere it to the envelope. That's okay. So how does this sit? I don't know. I'll go like that. Go like that. Okay, I'm going to pop some glue on there. I'm going to pop that there like that. Stick that on there. And that's a little envelope. Nothing too fancy. And then I'm going to put, with these letters that I showed you in the last video, reindeer thickers. They're called reindeer thickers. These are the numbers that I want to use for my days all the way through. So what I need to actually do is sit down and make sure I've got enough, because that wouldn't be great if I get to the end and then I've run out. So when I think about it, there's a few things that are going to be, you know, similar throughout. So using the craft cardstock and sewing, and using these nice sparkly red letters and numbers. So I guess, so it's not going to be completely all over the shop, is it? So that's a good thing. I'm going to use my trusty old Dimensional Magic again. I always use extra glue for thickers. I don't know whether it's here in Australia, but the majority of thickers that I've ever bought, and I have bought a lot because I used to do traditional scrapbooking, they just never stay stuck down. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? See, this is what I do. I just think or don't think, and then think too late. So I've got such a mess. Find my craft cardstock sheet. Punch one of those out. Now that I've stuck that down, can I lift that? I'll lift that. Stick that under there. So I think that's what I want to do. I'm just going to ink around that again. That, and I'm going to glue that down, just tuck it underneath that ivy. The glue's really gone all thick and funny, I'm not sure why. So I'm just going to pop that under there, just so that that ivy leaf is sitting on top of that disc, and then I might pop a little bit more of the Dimensional Magic on this number, just in case that's, because it does grab really quickly, so I don't want it to dry and then lose the number anyway. And then I'm just going to pop the number 1 sort of in the middle. Oh, I think that's quite cute. I'm quite happy with that. Not much to it, you know, I don't know, the saying less is more is sometimes good, isn't it? So, And what I think I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do a little collage on this flap here, because just to decorate that, and then just leave this part showing. I'm just going to hold that in place. So I'm just going to add, I think that's moving. Okay, I'll just leave that sit for a second. So I don't know, what do you guys think? It's pretty simple, pretty plain, but it's not too bad. So I'm just going to ink around here, and I might just ink around the flap of the envelope as well. And maybe even here, a bit of ink. I don't know, I love my ink. That's stuck. And then maybe just do a little collage. I don't know, I keep all my well, not all of them, but most of them, and I did keep some from these ruffles that I made, my threads. What have I done with them? Sorry guys, I just make a noise and have a look in here. Here we go. So these are all pulled from those ruffles that I made this afternoon. So that's going to open like that. I'm just thinking, see, that festive sticker was useless, wasn't it? What was I thinking? So what if I have maybe some of this, this red ruffle here, and here we go. Some of that, maybe just to add, if we just add a little bit of that, so I'm going to cut that there, add that there, so these, see, I love this, just this thread. You can make like a, I don't know, I call them bird's nest, but they're not, I mean, they don't have to be a bird's nest, but you can do something like that. I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to stick that down. Stick that down there. I know, stick it pretty much in the middle, I guess. So that's going to open like that. You're going to see that. And I'm just thinking maybe if we just add this on one end. I don't know, or maybe just add it in the middle. I'm just going to do it. No idea. So just stick that roughly. I mean, the more that hangs out, the better. That's what I think anyway. And then what if we just add some words? So I've got remember this already on the page. What's on here? Joy to the world. 'Tis the season to be jolly. I don't know, I think we might do, actually I like that, it's a wonderful life. Because it is pretty wonderful. So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra glue on that as well. See, my glue's gone all gluggy. It's a wonderful life. Sorry if my head's in frame there too. That glue will just, once it dries, we can just rub that off. And that's just a little bit of decoration without having too much there. I just think that's cute. I don't know, what do you guys think? So let's pop this back over in frame here. I'll just put my lid on the glue. that in there. So it sort of flows a bit. I think that's pretty good. Cute. And then that just flops over there like that. Pop things in there. And close the envelope. Oh, for goodness sakes. That, and then you have that finished page there. So I've added words and put the button there with the thread coming out. So I think that's probably pretty good. I'm going to call that a night. So tonight we did the pocket. I did that this afternoon, added a ruffle. I don't think it needs too much more than that. This is a bit of a continuance with that paper there, and then just a trim and some threads. And as I said, I like leaving all my threads hanging, as you can see. So I'm really quite happy with that. So I'm going to call it done, and hopefully you'll join me again for another craft with me in my December daily. Thanks so much guys for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.